Welcome back to Curiosity Killed the Cat. My name is Marco Fedovo, an engineering student at RMIT University. Today I'm joined with Tahsin Sultan, a science student at University of Melbourne. Today we will be talking about work-life balance, self-development, and the role of religion and Stoicism in those topics. Before we start, make sure you're following the podcast on Spotify. Anyways, let's get started. Yeah, that's good. Because it's very sensitive. So when you go close, it gets very loud. And when you go far, I don't want to stress you about that. But yeah, okay. So you want to talk about work-life balance, and you showed me your paper, and you want to talk about religion and Australian society and Stoicism and things like that. But I have a question.
Yeah.
Has your perspective on work-life balance changed from high school to university?
Yes, but not in the typical way. So it's kind of, a lot of people, just for some context, when their work-life balance changes, it's like, okay, I need to take more responsibility. I need to work more, study, balance that. But I think, as we discussed, as I have a younger sibling, that also kind of factors in. So you kind of have to strategically kind of allocate your time in a way that you can take care of the younger one while the parents are out working. You can take care of yourself, working, and then you can study as well. So it's kind of like juggling three things at the same time.
Yeah.
So you have to be very smart with the way you allocate time, I'd say. Yeah.
The way I was thinking about it today was it in high school, it's much more of a passive thing.
Yeah.
And when you leave high school, you're much more implicated in balancing your work life, like going out with friends and studying and all that, and like you said, taking care of your brother. So it's a much more active process, I think. What do you think are the most misunderstood things with work-life balance when you're just starting? Like, let's say you're leaving high school, and then what's something that they misunderstand?
It's a good question. Well, a common misunderstanding is that I have to work as much as possible to try and just save up as much money. But not just even money, it could be doing anything, right? So too much of something ultimately pushes the other thing down. It's like a seesaw, right? You allocate too much into your work, earning money, you now don't have much time to study. And on the other side, you have too much, you want to study too much and get perfect grades. You now can't earn enough to take care of yourself, or that extra bit of freedom that comes with working. So the balance is key, right? And that's different for everyone. So someone can easily work 3-4 days a week, whereas another person can barely manage 1 or 2, right? So it's you can't really compare yourself to the guy next to you and see, oh wow, this guy's working so long, 20 hours a week. Full-time student, how's he doing that? And then whilst you, on the other hand, are like, I can barely get 8 hours in a week, plus being a full-time student or part-time student, whatever. So you got to stop comparing yourself to the person next to you. Right? Find something that just works for you. And that's the hardest part. That's the hardest part of this work-life balance, because, what is me? What can I do to ensure that I'm balanced perfectly? And there are going to be days when you're not balanced, right? When you just have too many assignments. You just have too much to do at work. The hours are killing you, the lectures are killing you, whatever. And so it can fluctuate. But then can you like homeostasis, can you get back on track as well?
Homeostasis. So the balance. And also it kind of relates to another question I wanted to ask, which is, throughout your career, the balance is going to change.
Of course.
So you're saying that you can't compare yourself to others. And even throughout the day or throughout the week or throughout the month, it's going to change. And what I was thinking is maybe it will change throughout your career, but you're saying it's much more intricate and diverse and versatile than that.
It's my opinion, yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you.
So what is work-life balance? Can you define it?
The definition of work-life balance. Do you want the Oxford Dictionary or do you want the Tahsin Dictionary?
The Tahsin Dictionary.
Okay, the Tahsin Dictionary states, and I quote, work-life balance is the subjective experience of being able to manage time, both for yourself and your duties. Full stop.
Okay. So,
If I was to kind of delve into that a little bit, so by yourself, I mean, do you have time for yourself where you can work what you want to work on, but also have that extra bit of space for family, friends, social life, and a bit of creativity, you know? Like this whole podcast thing, I think it's great because you get to actually expand on your creativity. So always have that little bit of time, whether it be sports or artwork or making music, whatever it is, to kind of expand your creativity just a little bit, if that makes sense. And then I think I said duties. So duties is what do you need to do? Okay, my uni assignments, if I'm, in TAFE, any lectures, any, crucial exams, anything that I have to do. It could be anything, even family related. So things you have to do and things you want to do for yourself. That's work-life balance, in my opinion.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what are the, when I think of work-life balance, I'm thinking of like different aspects to balance, like social life, working, studying, sport, all these things. What are the main aspects for you?
For me?
Yeah.
Work-life balance means, I would say, sports. I'm a big sports enthusiast.
Which sport?
Basketball and soccer.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm also a soccer
fan.
guy,
Okay.
yeah.
We'll get into that a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a whole tangent about soccer I can get into.
Okay.
But it's also, downtime, taking care of the younger ones, the little brother or little sister, family time. And then the duties part is, I think, as we discussed, it was necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're kind of like putting them into these categories where it's like, this is necessary. I need to do these things. And these things are they as important, but secondary?
That's a good question. I'm still working on that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think, does it equal? Is that your question? Like, is it equal to the necessary? I would still say,
because taking time off and
of course,
because if you have a lot of things that are necessary, like working and studying, the importance of going out and taking care of your brother actually increases. Yeah. The more you have things that are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm still working on that. Yeah. So in my opinion, I guess I hate saying the word "it depends," but it really does depend. Right now, the necessary is number one. Okay. Right, that's number one. If I had to categorize, if I had to make a hierarchy, necessary is number one, without a doubt. And then comes sports, any music things. I'm not really into music like that, but if you are into music, then that's great. Family time, leisure time, downtime. But yeah, what I must do. Must with a capital M, that's number one. Yep. Then 2, 3, 4, 5 comes after.
Okay. Yeah. And it's kind of making me think about how throughout your career that will change. Because obviously we're in university now, and our education is very, very important, and it's laying our foundations for the future. Yeah. So we are going to prioritize studying and things that are necessary.
Yes.
And then maybe when we are 50, we'll be like, okay, I'm going to spend more time with my kids. Yeah. I don't know.
Of course. Well, it changes. You know what I mean? Like it fluctuates. So when you're fresh out of high school, it's, okay, I need to work, money, get the degree, job. Blah,
Some
blah.
people are the opposite.
Some people are the opposite, but
I want to go traveling
exactly. And then by the time you're 25, it's okay, let me settle down, find a partner, blah, blah, blah. Again, not always 25, 25 to 30, even 35, right? Yeah. It's that little kind of first third of your life, I like to call it. It comes, okay, let me just, settle down, start, actually taking care of things a bit more properly. When you're 30, it's okay, let me find a partner, maybe, again, not always 30. Yeah. Find that special one, find a job.
Have
kids, exactly. And then now you're reaching your 35s and 40s. It's okay. The kids are grown up a little bit now. house, mortgage, blah, blah,
So
blah.
I guess there's like a natural progression to life,
100%.
and
Yeah.
it's kind of influenced by society as well.
Yep.
But also our biology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting. And it kind of goes into another topic that I wanted to talk about.
Yep.
And then when I finish my questions, we can go to anything that's on there.
100%. Yeah. All good.
Hustle culture
Hustle culture.
and Tangping. Do you know what Tangping is?
Tenping.
Tangping.
No.
It's a Chinese movement
Okay.
where people our age,
Mm-hmm.
around our age, reject society and norms, and are like, oh, I'm gonna focus on my well-being, and I'm not going to get a job. I'm not gonna. Well, they're living very differently to societal norms and from what we're talking about, the natural progression.
Yep.
Maybe I won't have kids.
Yeah.
In South Korea, there's a big movement called the Sempo generation,
Oh, okay.
and where they're like, oh, I don't want kids. It's too
What is that?
expensive.
Yeah.
And then there's also the hustle culture, which is, I think, the opposite. I
Yeah.
think that they both have the interest of well-being.
Yep.
well-being.
Okay.
And then hustle culture, you might have people who are not having a good work-life balance, having too much work.
Too much work.
And then in Tangping, you might have too much life, not enough work.
Yes.
What do you think about like hustle culture in Tangping?
Yeah. Well, again, it always goes back to that one. Like, there's no right answer, right? With hustle culture, I've seen it. I've completely seen it. I've seen friends, having this rush to get into that good internship, good job, good company, blah, blah, blah. That's great. Obviously, I'm completely supportive of that. Even I myself am a bit like that. But then all comes back to what we discussed earlier, the seesaw, the well-being, right? And then you have, is it pronounced Tangping?
Tangping.
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 Ping.
Okay. And now, again, that's good as well, because you've now prioritized yourself, right? Yourself, your well-being, what you like doing. But then maybe on the other side, it's, can I also do a little bit for myself in terms of like investing into the future, right? Where hustle culture invests too much into society's kind of norms in getting that job, getting the house you want, getting the blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Tangping, it's the complete opposite. So what I've learned just now.
Yeah.
So it's all a balance. It all comes back to that seesaw where, can I get both? Can I learn the best thing from both? That's like my philosophy in life.
Yeah. And the balance, like you said, is different for everyone.
Of course.
Maybe somebody will prefer the hustle culture and be happy doing that. But I think a lot of people might see it and be like, whoa, that's so cool. I want to do that. And then they end up not having a balanced work life. And then with Tangping as well, be like, I don't like it. Everything is too expensive. I don't like this. And I want to work on myself and my well-being, and then end up not being happy because they have too much freedom. I don't know. I think, I saw this guy on Lex Fridman's podcast.
Okay.
I forgot his name, but he is a programmer, and he went to a Southeast Asian country because things were cheaper, and he had a lot of freedom, but he didn't feel free. He wasn't happy because I believe there needs to be some kind of guidance or structure and routine in your life to really enable real freedom. But yeah, so hustle culture and Tangping, it's up to the individual.
Completely. It's up to the individual.
And you do what makes you happy.
Yeah, of course. In terms of, if you're going to ask my personal experience, I lean a little bit towards hustle culture, but not to the extreme.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not that kind of guy that's going to work 30 hours a week, full-time student, balance everything.
I like the idea.
Exactly. It's such a great idea.
I love
but
procrastinating as well,
exactly. And that's first year uni, it's all procrastination, I guess. I'm in third year, so it's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. So I lean towards a little bit to the hustle culture, but I pull myself away at times because I'm like, no, that's too much.
Yeah.
I'm still relatively young. I'm 20. You know, can I still just have a little bit more time for myself?
Yeah.
Do what I want to do. Enjoy life, play basketball, spend time, blah, blah, blah. And then, okay, when the going gets tough, I will, like I said, the hierarchy comes into play. I'll put number 2, 3, 4 aside. I'll focus on what I need to do, hustle culture.
Yeah.
Prioritize that. Okay, I'm done with that. I'm done with uni. I'm done with assignments. My work is good. Okay, cool. It's the holidays like we're in right now. I'm going to now I'll lean a little bit more towards the well-being side of things. What I want to do, my creativity. Okay?
Yeah.
When that time is up, back to hustle culture. When that time is up, back to well-being.
Yeah.
It's a whole shift from left to right.
Spectrum,
100%.
Very, very variable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are the main challenges that you've faced in taking care of your work-life balance?
Main challenges. Number one is probably the only one, is doing too much of one thing. When I'll give you an example. When the holidays come, I'm the type of guy to literally throw everything away. I'm done. I'm gonna sleep in, do whatever I want to do. Leisure time is all mine. You know, winter holiday, summer break, whatever. But then, you know, am I going to the gym? Am I focusing on what I need to do for myself?
And I think pain is necessary, and it's good. You need to endure some kind of pain.
You need to, and that's how you grow.
Yeah.
And that's how you
doing things that you're uncomfortable with.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. It's not just physical pain as well.
Yeah.
It's okay. Can I still read a book? You know, kind of spark a little bit of my brain juice here and there. Yeah. Right. Okay. I've done that. I've done some of my. I've read a book. I've went to the gym. Took care of myself. Eat healthy. Blah blah blah. Maybe earn some money on the side. Okay. My necessary tasks are done. I'm now going to, I don't know, spend time with friends. You know, do what's fun, and going back and forth and back and forth between that. So you can't lean too much into one side, because eventually the equilibrium breaks.
Yeah, and it'll tip.
Exactly, and you'll fall. Yeah.
Okay. So what are the strategies? Like, do you have any tools or concrete strategies that you've found that helps you balance?
If I learned this on, I think by reading 12 Rules of Life by Jordan Peterson. When your mind doesn't want to do something, just do it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Oh man, I can't be bothered going for a 20-minute walk. It's too hot. Yeah. I'm gonna just do it. I don't care. 20 minutes, even 15 minutes, go out, 30 degrees, whatever, maybe a light jog, come back. Not to the point where you're like physically, I can't be bothered anymore. Like when you're like on the brink of dying, don't do that.
Yeah.
But
unless you're what's his name?
David Goggins.
Okay.
Unless if you're him, literally him.
Yeah.
You know, push yourself a little bit. And then once you're done with that, the dopamine release, it's like, I've just done a really hard task. That's great. I'm gonna come back, sit in the aircon, and enjoy, because I can reward myself with that. You know, you should always. My philosophy, another one is earn everything. Right? Try to earn everything as much as you can, right? Because that gives you a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna play sports, even if it's hot or if it's cold. And the hot or cold, I'm saying that because it adds an element of pain, right? Not every day is gonna be, you know, sunny with 21 degrees, perfect weather. You know, so there are going to be days when I just can't be bothered, right? So go through the pain, even if it's for a little bit, come back, and then enjoy the rewards later. Even in breakfast, I do that as well. I try to get some chores done. I try to make my bed. Yeah. I try to maybe clean my room, a little bit of vacuuming, maybe some light reading, do all the things I need to do, take the bins out, blah, blah, blah. Maybe check my emails, respond to a couple of emails, because I get like dozens, bro. It's insane. And then after that, okay, I'm gonna have breakfast. Cool. I'm rewarding myself. And then after that, back to the tasks. Come back, reward myself.
And it's important to learn how to do that now.
Of course.
At our age.
Yeah.
Because that's just how we're gonna survive.
Because everything comes easy now.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
It's true. There's this one quote. I don't remember where it's from. Just from.
Is it the strong
scrolling.
times create hard? Is that one?
It's similar.
Similar.
It's
Okay.
Do you want to suffer now
Mm-hmm.
and get that dopamine rush later,
Yeah. Yeah.
or do you want the dopamine rush now and suffer later? Like you're scrolling on your phone, you're getting dopamine rush.
Yeah.
It's really good. And after you've not done nothing all day, it's been
Nothing.
6 hours, and now you're suffering. You're like, no,
Oh, I'm so
I
behind.
just wanted to go on it for 20 minutes, and
Yeah.
now it's been 6 hours.
Yeah.
Or do you want to go on a run this morning
Yeah.
and suffer a little bit, and then be like, get the dopamine rush. The run is high.
Yeah.
Be like, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree with what you're saying.
Try to earn things.
And things.
Try to earn it as much as you can. Yeah, and there's going to be days when you wake up and you're like, okay, let me just scroll my phone a little bit. TikTok, YouTube Shorts. That's like the big one right now. I do that as well. I'm not going to lie. I do that as well. Of course. Everyone does.
Yeah.
Right? TikTok,
It's so
Snap,
addictive.
Insta. There's so many apps now. It's like they're going to release probably like another 2 more in the next 5 years, I reckon. And then maybe 10 years. And then, you're behind, right? But then can you tell your mind, okay, screw that. I'm going to make my bed. I'm going to brush my teeth, blah, 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 clean a little bit, do some vacuuming, whatever. Come back and earn it, earn it. Try and earn it. Because then that creates great habits for you in the future. Because now instead of just sitting back and just getting everything for free, whatever, you've now actually took action. And that's so important with the young generation. Can you take action? Do what's necessary. And then afterwards, sit back and be like, I deserved it.
Yeah, but because it's so easy to just sit down and get the dopamine rush now.
Yeah.
And not do anything.
Yeah, of course.
So one of the strategies that you mentioned was from the 12
Rules of Life.
Rules of Life by Jordan Peterson is when you don't feel like doing it, do it.
Just do it.
And then I guess, do you know Andrew Huberman?
Yes. Is it American psychoanalyst, was it?
No, not psychoanalyst.
It was but he has a podcast. Yep.
Psychologist, something like that. He talked about the suprachiasmatic nucleus, and it's the region that grows when you do things that you do not want to do.
Yeah.
And it's common in super ages, people who live 100 or longer, that they have a larger suprachiasmatic nucleus.
Wow.
So doing something that you do not want to do,
They don't want to do. Yeah.
will increase your lifespan, probably, most likely.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wanted to say that.
Yeah. I'll have to look into that as well.
How do you? Do you have any other tools? I have one tool.
Yeah. What is it?
It's a bit weird, but it works for me.
Okay.
It's like if I'm sitting on my ass watching YouTube on the TV.
Yep.
And it's been like an hour or 2 hours. I'm like, if I had a girlfriend and she looked at me right now, would I be embarrassed? If it's yes, then I go actually do something else.
Okay.
Another strategy that I have is less weird. It's normally when I eat, I watch something.
Yep.
And then when I finish eating, I just keep watching.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, after eating, I'm going to go study. But then I just keep watching and I don't study.
Going, yeah.
What I do is I just be bored. I just don't do anything.
Yeah.
I eat with no YouTube. And I just be bored. And then I'll be like, oh, am I going to scroll? No, I'm just going to be bored. Am I going to go on YouTube? No, I'm going to be bored. And my brain is going to want to do something. And then I'm going to study or do something that's productive. Do you have any other tools?
I think the first one was really interesting.
Yeah.
The let the girlfriend judge you.
Yeah.
Or the
would I
partner
be
judge you.
embarrassed?
Yeah. That's a good one. Except for do it now. I have another tool which is what am I going to look like if I don't do it tomorrow?
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I don't go and exercise right now, if I don't go and answer that email right now, oh God, I got to do it tomorrow. I could have done all that now, relaxed in the afternoon / evening, and tomorrow could be a new task. I'm now 1 or 2 tasks behind of schedule. You know, again, that's not going to work for all people, right? I'm the type of guy that I need to get things done in order. So Monday, tasks. Tuesday, tasks. Wednesday, tasks. And then, so some people like to do everything in one day. Some people like to spread it out, like what I do. But essentially, it takes a little bit of imagination. So can you kind of look into the future and see, okay, am I going to be behind on schedule? Can I use that time better somewhere else? Like leisure, like family, like job, blah, 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 this, that, you know?
Yeah.
So it requires a little bit of forward thinking. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know the specific kind of scientific term for that. But
Yeah.
I just like saying forward thinking.
Yeah. I think it's good to, I think journaling helps.
Journaling, yeah.
Or just writing a note to yourself, to your future self.
Yeah.
And imagining yourself as a success.
Yes.
And be like, okay, what steps do I need to take? And for people who are just starting or just need help to get motivated to do things, you just need to do one small thing.
Just one, yeah, that's all.
A tiny thing.
It builds momentum.
Something that's very easy. Something that, like, if you don't do it, like, it's just so easy. So just do it. And like you said, it builds momentum.
Yeah.
And then,
There was I don't know his name, but I saw a video of him and there was like a 30-minute, 20-minute video. And it's about building small habits. So small habits to big habits, right? Like the book you're talking.
Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits. Wow.
Yeah.
And he was an American. I think he works in the army. He's like a captain, someone very respected. And he says the first thing you should do every morning is just make your bed, because it just starts your day, right? Immediately you've done a small task, and you've just already done tick box. Number one objective is completed. And by the time you've done all those small tasks, throw the bin out, vacuum, blah, 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 study, spend time here, exercise, back to study, back to read a book, blah, blah. You can look back at maybe 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. by the time you go to sleep. Holy crap, I've just done 15 odd things. That's amazing. I'm ahead of schedule, So always...
And have a schedule. Make a checklist.
Of course. Have a to-do list.
Yeah.
Make it the night before.
Yeah.
So you know what tomorrow's going to look like. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. I have a whiteboard.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, my handwriting's terrible. Oh. So I have to use a whiteboard, like a second grader, and just write everything. I haven't used a notepad in ages.
Yeah. Wait, this is completely off topic. Yeah. Sorry, I'm ruining the flow.
No.
What did you want to do? Are you majoring in anything in science?
Yeah, I'm doing psychology.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect.
It just fits in. Yeah. That's a good question, actually. But the whole idea of building those small habits, it builds momentum into the big things. Yeah. Now you have time to study. Now you have time to go to the gym, even if it's for half an hour. Now you have time to exercise, blah, 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 read a book. It's these small things that compound to this huge thing. Think of it as like investing. $50 a week. By the time you're 60 is God knows what. It's a lot of money, you know? So it's these small things.
Yeah, and I agree.
Yeah.
How do you make time for leisure?
For leisure? It's an interesting question. How do you make time? Well, I like to take breaks, right? So I get tasks done and then I take a break.
It's kind of like what you said before.
Yeah. It's like a sandwich method.
Yeah.
Right? Get the important stuff done. Get the bread done because you need a bread to make sandwich. And then get the lettuce, get what's healthy. Maybe chuck in some leisure time or the sauce, the extra stuff that you don't need. It's great to have it, but you don't need it.
Yeah.
And then get the meat in, get the big chunk of your day in. What, like today, like a meeting or a big assignment that I have to do, whatever it is. So it's all about taking breaks for me, but that depends on the person again. Some people like to spend Monday fully just the whole day on some serious, big, heavy tasks, whatever it could be. Tuesday could be the leisure day.
Yeah.
Wednesday, they're back on it.
But you have to plan it. If you just go with the flow, that works for some people. Mm-hmm. But it might not flow.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you might snowball the other way.
Yeah.
You might snowball. Like like you might do more than what you're capable, or what you are capable of,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is a lot.
Yeah.
We're all capable of a lot. And then you slowly decrease it, and it snowballs until you're like on your phone
Yeah.
doing nothing the whole day.
Doing that. Yeah. Yeah.
And to add on like what we were saying before, imagine what you can do in 1 hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can scroll on your phone for 3 hours.
Yeah. Takes so much time.
Yeah. And the amount of stuff you can, like, I don't think it takes a lot to be like a top student or a top of whatever you want.
It doesn't.
You just need to actually do it.
Yeah. And manage your time. You know, there's a time blocking. That's a method.
Okay.
It might not be called that. Could be called something else. Could be like a whole language barrier thing. But it's in 1 hour, how much can I get done?
Yeah.
Eat healthy, go to gym, blah, blah, blah. Read a book, blah, blah. Okay. And then maybe it's like the Pomodoro method, but maybe a bit extended.
Doesn't take a lot of time.
Doesn't take a lot of time. 10 minutes break, back on it, 1 hour. Again, 20 minutes break, back on it again. You look back, you just did 5 big things in the space of 10 hours. It's great. Yeah.
So we're kind of talking about self-development,
Yes.
as well as work-life balance. Is self-development part of work-life balance, or is it something separate that you also have to balance?
Ooh, when you say self-development, is that self-improvement or?
Yeah, you're improving yourself.
Yeah, helping yourself.
Yeah,
in a way.
Tomorrow you're better than you are today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is.
It is what?
It is part of work-life balance. Yeah. You can integrate it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you get tasks done, if you do what's necessary, plus take some time for yourself, isn't that helping you? That's helping you. And that, in essence, is self-development. You know, that's a big core of what it is. You need to help yourself. Make yourself better tomorrow than what you were today. And again, the next day, the next day, the next day, and then next week, next month, next year. But it's also like you also need to integrate. You need to be very smart with your time, right? You need to integrate it. You know, the gym has to be in a 30-minute block. You can't go to the gym 4 hours a day. You just can't, unless if that's like your sole, you know, maybe business model, whatever it is. Then fair enough. You know, you do you. But most people, exactly. But most people, you can't really afford more than 45 minutes to an hour. You don't even need to, right? Okay, you've now integrated that. That's self-development. That's also leisure time. To me, that is. I'm now going to cater 20 to 30 minutes of reading. I'm learning something. Self-development, you know? I didn't know this before. Okay, I know something now. Maybe some journaling. 5-10 minutes.
Do you journal?
No, but I write notes in my book.
Okay.
So does that count? I don't think it does.
I tried journaling for like 4 months.
Yeah.
It was really, really helpful.
Wow. Okay.
Really helpful. But I just fell out of the habit.
Okay.
So, you know, you'll never have like a perfect year.
Yeah, of course.
It will go up and down.
Yeah.
You know, it's variable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so you need to find time, you need to find leisure time, but also simultaneously can also be used as self-development time, you know? You have to be very smart. You only have 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to sleep 7-8 hours. You need to work 7-8 hours.
Yeah. And yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking when you have so much freedom, where your freedom is actually unchecked. Like you don't have the proper boundaries or guidelines.
Yeah.
You actually do less than what you're able to.
Yeah.
When you actually create guidelines for yourself or a schedule, go to the gym and do all this stuff, then you actually know what you're going to do. You don't even have to think about going to do it. Do it. You're just going to do it. Do you have any books? Yes, you have. There are books that you read, podcasts or mentors that you follow or get your ideas from.
In terms of books, there is The 12 Rules of Life, Atomic Habits, which I have not read, but I'm very keen on reading.
Oh, you need to read it.
And yes.
It's life-changing.
Okay.
Because it teaches you how to, you know, slowly build up to something that is that like you wouldn't even imagine.
Yeah. I think Rich Dad Poor Dad is just amazing. It's not a self-help book, But it's a very key aspect of how to control your financial situation. So that's a good one. And number 4 is the subtle art of not giving a.
Yeah.
Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it, but I don't actually know what the content is like.
I'm going to read it. I haven't read it, but
Okay.
it's a book of how you yourself, you don't really matter that much. So stop caring about what other people think. You know, just look at yourself. Introspection is a very key element of that book. And so instead of just caring about what he, she, they think, when you're only going to see them, who knows how many times a year, doesn't matter. Do what you need to do. If you believe in your intentions, it's good for you and maybe your loved ones as well. Then what else matters? You know?
They have of confidence as well.
Confidence, yeah. And that's what you have to build up as well.
So many people our age struggle.
Yeah.
I struggle with it,
Especially with, post high school life.
Yeah,
You now get thrown into this world where you don't have a 9 to 3 p.m. structure. 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. I should say structure, right?
it used to be passive
Exactly.
work-life balance.
You knew what to do.
Everything.
You knew you had to get up at 6, 7 a.m., take the train, take the bus, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You don't have that anymore. And so now you don't have boundaries. There's nothing controlling you anymore. You now have to put yourself in control. How are you going to do that? It's through these rigid, systematic steps.
Yeah, and I think it's very different from high school, even if you still have a structure.
Yeah.
Because the structure when you had in high school,
Yeah.
it came from the outside. So somebody else made the school schedule,
Yep.
and somebody else made the bus schedule. But now when you're in uni or outside of uni, you have to create the schedule yourself.
Course.
It's comes from you. So the motivation is different. It's intrinsic,
different.
not extrinsic.
It's all you.
Yeah.
It's all self. There is no mum or dad. I mean,
Maybe.
there is. But there is no one telling you to wake up at a specific time anymore. You don't have to get that 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock train in the morning anymore. So it's completely different. You need to now take a step back. Okay, during the holidays or whenever you get some free time, okay, how am I going to structure my life? Because trust me, from first-hand experience, it's so easy to let yourself go.
Yeah.
It's so easy. Because you get so burnt out, especially from doing year 12, ATAR, VC, whatever it is that you're doing. It could be anywhere across the state, across the country. You're like, oh, I can't be bothered anymore, man. I don't have the energy. I deserve a break. And then the 1 month break becomes a 3 month break, becomes a 6 month break, becomes a 12-month break. And by the time the whole year has passed, you have zero structure. You have no motivation. Everything is slipping away from you.
And you think there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. And then that's what builds okay, I need to seek, it's okay to do it, but I'm actually just a little bit against it. Seeking external professional advice from someone who doesn't really know your life that too well, If anyone, you need to be seeking your own advice, right? So instead of looking at, obviously if you need to, please do. Instead of going to the doctors or to anyone professional and letting them control your life, which is what school has been doing for so long, take a step back and be like, okay, what is wrong with me? Okay, I'm waking up too late. Okay, I'm going to go to bed earlier, wake up earlier. Oh, cool. That's number 1. That's done.
Well, just one thing.
Yeah.
You might know what you're doing wrong,
Yes.
but you might not have the ability to change it. Or you have the ability, but you just don't have the motivation.
Yeah.
And one tool that I think helps is having someone else, maybe a professional or a friend, anything, to keep you accountable. Because the next time you see them, they're going to ask, oh, are you sleeping earlier?
Yeah.
And then if you say no, then you're going to feel bad.
Yeah. That's completely right as well.
Yeah.
And that's like we said, the differing of opinions, right? Yeah. So I think it's completely okay to seek professional advice, but the first thing is, can you seek your own advice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then if you can't, plan B, seek professional advice.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. Okay, plan C, have a group of people to hold you accountable, not just one person. If that doesn't work, plan D, E, F. Always start from plan A. Start from yourself.
Yeah.
Then B, C, D. But I think you're completely right as well.
Yeah.
Seek it when it's necessary.
Even reading books is a form of therapy.
Of course.
I like the Stoicism books and the Atomic Habits and all these things change your perspective on life and really changes how you behave. So, a couple books you said are interesting to you and you want to read, and some that helped you. Podcasts.
Podcasts, I'm not a big listener because they're 3 hours long.
Maybe YouTube.
YouTube, yes. But I look at like 20-minute videos, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But my main thing is role models and books.
Okay. Role models.
Role models. It's going to sound a bit corny.
Okay.
Me being a soccer fan, you can guess where I'm going with this. Try and guess.
Okay. It's either Cristiano or Messi.
Yeah. Number one, 100% Ronaldo, right?
Okay.
It sounds really cheesy. I get it. Okay. People listening at home,
it's good.
They're gonna like, oh, Tahsin, you cheese ball, whatever. Fair enough. They're not wrong, but I think it could be anyone, right? But athletes for me are a prime example of what a role model should be like.
Yeah.
Because that's discipline. It's hard work. It's sacrifice.
It's the top level of discipline.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of people have musicians, actors. That's fine. But I've always preferred athletes because they have to put themselves in shape, strengthen their body, literally their body, their mind, their craftsmanship. And then on top of that, sacrifice every single thing. Sacrifice time here, no parties, no going out, no nothing. Solely just looking into the future and saying, can I do it? And athletes, for me, is just the best example. And so Ronaldo, for me, it could be LeBron, Ronaldo, Serena Williams, whatever.
Yeah.
For me, that's just... Ronaldo is just like the prime example of what anyone should be like.
Yeah, because you don't even need to. They don't even need to tell you that they're disciplined.
Yeah,
they just talk to you.
Yeah,
and you can get a sense of their aura, and even looking at their physical appearance.
Yeah,
like you can just tell, like, wow, that guy's disciplined. I want to be like that guy.
Yeah,
and I wonder what he does to be like that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yep. Number 2, I would say, do you know Giannis? Basketball star.
I'm not big in basketball.
Okay. He's Greek.
I think he's a big...
He's a big deal.
Popular.
Yes,
I've heard his name.
Yes, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think that's how you say his name.
Okay. I don't know.
Greek name.
Okay.
Number 3, I would say... They're all just basketball and soccer. But number 3 is a cricket star. It's a very polarizing figure.
I'm not gonna know.
Do you know Virat Kohli?
I've heard his name.
Yeah.
I know 0 people.
I hate the Indian cricket team.
Oh, why?
But I love Virat Kohli.
This guy's Bangladeshi.
Yeah, I'm Bangladeshi, by the way. I don't like the cricket team of India. I think, whatever. But Kohli's just, even as an outsider, I'm like, yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
He's just sick. And he himself has said that I am the Cristiano Ronaldo of cricket. Yeah. Which I agree, by the way.
Yeah.
If you see the way he, presents himself, talks about himself, his confidence, the way he, like, when those people, they just walk in and they're like, yeah, I'm that guy, Yeah. Bit cheesy, bit corny.
Yeah.
But you can tell that, yeah, he's the captain, he's the leader. He's going to will his team to the victory.
Yeah.
To the end, Those kind of athletes, to me, are like the prime example of, what, I want to be like him, her, they, whatever, They're cool. They're amazing.
So strengthen your physicality, strengthen your mind.
Yep.
Read books.
Yep.
Have role models.
Yep.
Have strategies to be organized.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. So I have an interesting question.
Okay.
Looking back at your high school life or whenever, what are the tips that you would give your younger self?
To my younger self?
Yeah.
It's a good question. I would say, first of all, eat your veggies.
Okay.
Eat healthy. Go to sleep on time. Because, man, some of those days. But some real advice would be learn to manage your time. Time management. Oh, so key.
Yeah, and we don't realize it in high
You
school.
don't realize it.
Yeah. People say it, but
yeah. Like, try to get it done now to the best of your ability. So then you have more time to allocate to the more important things, right? Try to, in a way, know how to invest. We say invest your money, but why not invest your time? You've invested so much money into X, Y, Z. Parents nowadays invest so much money into their kids. If you think about it, so much money. Private school, tutoring, this, that, card, everything. And then...
For what?
For what? Whereas if you just invest an extra 45 minutes with your own kid, he, she, they will shine. Like I have seen kids, and if I can tell myself, I'm like, okay, have better role models who can kind of, because I learned these role models quite late. If I had them earlier, I would, this sounds like I'm excusing myself, which I shouldn't, but I would have been in a much better position today. I could have been, you know, this position 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
I wasted a bit of time there. So have really good role models, manage your time. Well, and more importantly, invest your time, right? I have seen kids who don't come from such good backgrounds, you know, maybe not as sufficient as maybe other private school kids or other more wealthy kids, whatever, X, Y, Z. But those kids have done extremely well for themselves. Just because they've had people around them, as well as themselves, they've invested time instead of money. And you don't realize that time could be the same as money, if not more.
Yeah, it converts.
It converts, if not more. Time is so important.
You are the sum of the 5 people you hang out the most with.
Yep.
And yeah, I just wanted to say that because you're talking about the friends that you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
But what does investing your time look like? What does it do?
Like, what is it?
Yeah. What does that mean?
So investing time into your future, number one.
What is that?
What is that? How do I strengthen my mind? You can delve into this completely. So in terms of future, I'll start with that because it's the biggest. More knowledge, read books, podcasts.
Yeah.
You know, just meet people, you know, that you want to get into, in the field you want to get into.
Your brain is very plastic.
Of course.
It's a critical period.
Yeah. And your brain in psychology, your brain, for most people, doesn't fully cement, doesn't fully crystallize until you're 30, 31. You have 30 years of your life to get to that point. Well, I say 20 years because...
To lay the foundations for the rest,
Exactly.
the whole rest of your life.
To the rest
And
of
then
your life.
it's a lot more difficult later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So knowledge is number one. Seek knowledge. Seek it. Don't just sit there and be like, oh, nothing's happening. No, you got to go out there and actually do something about it. You know, read books, look at podcasts, something that really motivates you and interests you. That's number one. Number two is, can I put some money away? Savings account, blah, blah, blah. Number three is, and that also comes with investing and a bit of knowledge there. So, you know, try and keep up to date with those kind of things. Money, investing, time. Number three is my health. Right? Investing into the future, my health, right? Going to the gym. Okay, you can't afford a gym. Okay, that's okay. Going for a run. You know, going for a run is free.
Run, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Use the weather.
Yeah.
If anything, going for a run is just as important, if not more, than going to the gym. You know,
I'd say equal.
I'd say, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're just both necessary.
Yeah. And that it doesn't always have to be physical as well. It's very important if it is physical, but sleep on time, wake up on time.
Yeah.
7-8 hours.
Sleep is also critical.
So important.
All of these basic things
Oh my
that
goodness.
everybody should be doing.
Yeah.
They're critical.
Eat healthy. You know, eat your 3 meals, 2 meals a day.
Sometimes it's difficult to eat healthy,
Of course.
but just take the small steps.
Yeah. And if you can't afford it, because that's completely justified, this economy.
Yeah.
But if you can't afford it, that's okay. Just cut down on the things you don't need to eat. You know, carbs is one of them. I've completely cut down on carbs.
Really?
Fully, yeah.
I was thinking of doing like a low carb diet.
Yeah.
How is it?
It's great because you don't experience that shutdown. I used to have, my breakfast was Wheat Bix, 4 Wheat Bix with 2 pieces of toast and 2 eggs. I've completely cut out the toast. Now it's just 2 eggs and 4 Wheat Bix.
Yeah.
And lunch used to be rice with chicken and vegetables, egg, whatever. Now that rice is cut into half the portion because you still need some carbs, you know, for the energy. And dinner, there's no carbs at all. It's just meat, veggies, nuts.
Explore diets. You need to explore diets because I also know someone. Well, Jahil is vegan, and then I know someone who it's not very common, but has a carnivore diet.
I've heard about
and
this.
they have so much more energy.
So much.
And it might not work for everyone, but just explore it and figure out what's good for you.
Yeah.
And small steps is just what you need. Take out all processed foods.
Yes.
Processed foods.
Please.
You don't know how much it impacts you.
My goodness.
Every aspect of your life.
Oh, yeah.
Sleep as well.
Yep. These are the basics. We learn this in primary school.
Yeah.
And then we forget about it as we get older.
Yeah.
It's like, you learned this when you were a kid, man. Just go back to the basics. Done. That's it. And some little extra implementations here and there. So in terms of the future, that's what I was talking about. Those, I think it was 3 or 4 things. But then also investing time, right? Time into your craft, what you want to do. You want to be a doctor? Okay. You have to do this typical exam. Study for it, Talk about it. Listen to podcasts.
Do something extra.
Do something extra. Make friends.
In the field.
Yeah. And that kind of segues into number 2. Make good friends. It's so important. If you have some good, like-minded friends who just care about genuinely improvement, like improving themselves and doing what's best for them and for you as well.
Yeah.
Trust me, you are going to follow the exact same path. You can't miss. You can't. Right? It's so vital to make good friends. And I'm grateful that after high school I didn't really have great friends. But after high school...
Maybe they're listening.
Hey, they're listening. Sorry, my bad. But honestly, after high school, I made amazing friends. Genuinely great friends. Like-minded. And you meet them sometimes in the most unexpected places, like at work. I've made some great friends. Colleagues and then friends, right? And just know who's worthy of your time. Make sure you're giving something back to them and they're giving something back to you. It's like...
time.
Yes, time. Transactional relationships, I like to call it. You give something first, they give something back to you, you give something back there. And that creates friendship. It doesn't always have to be about business and, straight work.
Yeah. Make the everyday things fun.
100%.
Like people, I know some people who are not necessarily hedonist, but this philosophy is, I want to have fun now that, like when I'm young. But you can have fun and work.
100%.
And you can have fun and prepare for your future. And your future will be so much brighter.
That's another topic I want to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Like religion and hedonism. But we can get back to that a bit later. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that answer your question? Like the whole investing future thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah. So keeping on that topic a little bit, what are your future goals?
Future goals.
Yeah.
Do you want the fun answer or do you want the serious answer?
Whatever.
I want to get into good shape.
Yeah.
I was in really good shape when I was in year 10. I played soccer a lot. And then I started to, once year 11 VCE hit, I kind of lost myself a little bit. As it does happen with a lot of guys. You start to focus on studies,
Work-life balance.
Exactly, work-life balance. And you're young, so you don't really know how to do it. You just want to go full into this one thing and you just leave the other unnecessary, which is not unnecessary. It's very necessary, but you can leave that out naturally, right? So I want to get into good shape. I want to have a strong mind, to the point where I learn to dance in the storm. Have you heard that saying?
No.
So you instead of being scared by the storm, learn to dance in it, because pain will come to you. You will experience pain, whether the loss of someone, whether it be something that's done to you, someone said something to you, done something to you, a job.
I love that feeling. Like having a challenge or
having
a storm.
Yeah.
And be like confident enough to face it and be glad that it's there.
Yeah, it's there. Because that's how you grow, man. That's how you grow. Learn to dance in the storm. Learn to dance in the rain. Go outside when it's tough, Because that's what builds character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the next time the storm's there,
you're ready.
You're ready for it.
And you've done it.
Yeah.
Experience. Boom. Oh, I've seen that storm before.
And it becomes sunny. And it's like, oh, it's easy.
Exactly.
And another storm comes.
Yeah.
And yeah.
You've now done what I would say 80 to 90% of guys can't do. People can't do it, just in general.
Yeah.
Because as soon as the storm hits in their houses, I'm scared, blah, 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 everything's terrible. The sky is falling, blah, blah, blah. Have you heard about that? The whole sky is falling.
Yeah.
There's 3 types of people.
Okay.
Again, 12 Rules of Life. Please read it.
Okay. Yeah.
And these types of people who just see the negative, don't associate with them. because all the time they're just thinking about, oh, the storm, oh, terrible, oh, my life is bad, oh, it sucks, blah, 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 blah. Instead, be friends with maybe not the overly optimist, but the optimist, right? Be friends with those types of people who just embrace the challenge. Okay, a storm is coming. What can I do? What action can I take? What is in my grasp that I can take in
Yes.
and do?
Okay. We kind of deviated, but what are your future goals?
Future goals.
Fitness.
Yes, sorry.
Fitness.
Fitness.
Number one.
Strong mind, strong body, money.
Any specifics?
Specifics?
Yeah. Like career. What is your career? Do you have a career goal?
I do. But I want to really get into kind of business health field, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I study currently Bachelor of Science at Melbourne Uni. I'm going to graduate in about 6 months, 7 months time. Psychology, majoring in psychology. Trying to get into the psychology field, neuropsychology specifically, because that field has yet to fully open.
Yeah.
I've done a ton of research on it. It's still not as prominent as a typical medical field, right? There is yet, especially with males are yet to, go into the psychology field, because it's a very female dominated field, which we would expect, because naturally they're just better at talking to people.
Understand
in my
social
opinion.
situations.
Of course. So I think trying to do something that not people can do, so then you can be a leader, because if you can establish yourself as a prominent male neuropsychologist, psychologist, whatever it is, clinical, whatever it could be, you're going to have a ton of other people following you and looking at you, right? And then from there, you can build your reputation up into something, So try to do something that you can see yourself being the leader of, if that makes sense.
Yeah. See your future self.
Of course.
What do you, and it should be something that seems just out of reach.
Yeah.
You need to aim for something that's
Just a little bit higher.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because then it will really motivate you.
Of course.
Yeah. You need to check out Andrew Huberman. He's a
100%.
neuropsychologist, I think. And he
Will do.
gives you science-based tools, like what we've been talking about today. Like actual things that you can act on. And it's very interesting, and I think you'll like it. But yeah, those are my... Oh wait, do you have any more for like business? And health?
that kind of segues into that, right? Like once you build yourself up, you now can establish a solid business and kind of like a business model. So then other people, not only
business model for your life.
For your life, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Because this is
also for a business.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because this economy is, and I saw this somewhere, I can't remember who said this, it's an attention economy now. Attention economy.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of that. Yeah,
if you can get people's eyes and ears to you, eventually that will stack up into success. You just need some attention into you. Yeah. Exactly the point of this, right?
Yeah.
The whole point of something like this is to create attention.
Also learn and
of course
and network and
everything.
meet people. Yeah, this is just like everything. You can only win with this. I think.
Yeah. Try and do something that grabs people's attention, be a leader, and build that into success.
Yeah.
It's a very long process, but once you get to that peak of the mountain, the rewards.
And
insane.
This might seem overwhelming.
Yeah.
And for introverts, I'm an introvert. You just need to take the small steps.
Yeah.
And you think that you'll never be able to be confident, or maybe you're scared of doing public speaking, for example.
Yeah.
Which is one of the biggest fears
of course.
of humans.
Yeah.
You just need to take small steps.
Yeah.
You can learn these things.
Yeah, of course.
And that's so motivating.
It's all learning. Life is learning.
Yeah.
In the medical field, I had a friend of mine. He's a genius. I work with him. A great guy, Pakistani. So smart. Yeah. Unbelievably smart. And he said that in an interview question, when you get interviewed as a medical student, or at least a potential medical candidate into a school, is that why medicine, right? And his draft answer was, medicine is a life learning process. You never stop, right? There's always going to be a new way to treat a patient, you know? And then how do you treat a patient who might have some a cultural, like a what is it? Cultural sensitivity. You know, maybe they don't like the Western practices.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, the indigenous health. You know, maybe so the South Asian model, the East Asian model.
Yeah.
You know,
I do have an opinion on that.
Yeah.
Like modern medical places are motivated by profit.
Yeah.
So they're not going to get you really the best. I think Chinese medicine and things like that are pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Life learning.
Do you have any topics of your own that you want to talk about?
Yes.
Because I'm finished with my thing.
Amazing. I wanted to talk about, if I could just grab this.
Yeah.
So we touched on it. The idea of instant gratification.
Right. Yeah.
Hedonism as well.
Yeah. I think some people see themselves as hedonists, but I don't think they understand what it is.
Yeah.
Because hedonism is not a good thing.
Of course.
You serve no purpose to other people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a selfish kind of philosophy, I think.
Yeah.
But it's good to have fun.
Of course.
Well, you know.
Do you do anything for fun? Like, do you go out, party, blah, blah, blah?
I go out. Camping.
Great.
I go camping
Great.
like many times a year.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I enjoy running. Like, running is one of my passions. Soccer.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
That's great.
Playing video games.
You're quite tall. How do you...
Oh.
Are you a goalkeeper? Striker?
No. I'm
Centre back.
fullback, kind of.
Ah.
And winger.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm only 6'1", 6'1".
Really?
Yeah.
Only 6'1".
Yeah, but we're in Australia. Come on.
Only 6'1". My goodness. Oh, if I had that luxury of saying that.
How tall are you?
5'10".
Okay, that's not bad.
6'1". Oh,
That's
man.
like just below 6 foot, and you can just like say you're 6 foot.
Say I'm 6 foot.
Yeah.
If I wear Air Forces, I can creep in 5'11", but
Okay.
I have to see.
Okay.
How
about you? What do you do for fun?
Well, that's kind of what I touch on. The whole aspect of fun is, well, what I do for fun is like sports, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
spending time, blah, blah. But that's like the normal thing. But I wanted to talk about the idea of letting yourself go, having too much fun, hedonism, that whole aspect, especially in the world, not the world, but the society we live in today, Australia, Western society. It's completely transgressed it into something that it's not supposed to be, right? I think you have also experienced it as well. Maybe not experienced it, but you've seen others do it. But I want to know your opinion about, because hedonism carries such a negative connotation, right?
Yeah.
What is your definition / experience of it? Like, what is your thoughts?
I think not a lot of people are truly hedonist.
Yep.
They might say they're hedonist, or they just it's living for pleasure.
Yep.
And not really contributing much to the world. I think it's dangerous. Maybe I kind of see the Tang Ping, what we talked about before.
Yep.
I think it's really important, and it's the most altruistic thing to be able to do something
Yes.
that benefits the next generations, and you will not be, you will not get credit for it, but you do it anyways. And hedonism is just doing pleasure, having pleasure, and then it's just instant. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good definition. How would you define it?
Well, sometimes I take the too pessimistic approach.
Okay.
And I kind of just say, my old definition and my new definition is very different. My new definition aligns to what you're saying.
Okay.
My old definition was hedonism is something that should never be touched. It's almost taboo to do. You know, it's an act or intent to self-sacrifice yourself for the sake of pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that does carry some negative connotation, if that makes sense.
It's a sacrifice. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're putting yourself down because you want to be happy. You're not happy, but because you want to experience that fleeting moment of, oh, yes, happiness. Let's go, excitement. And with that comes, these are just examples, not always, drinking, taking illicit drugs, doing things you're not supposed to be doing.
Like if you're taking the religion sense, it's
The religion
sinning.
sense of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so these things are self-deprecating. But it's always okay to do a little bit of it, in my opinion. And this is just my opinion. It's one guy's opinion, right?
And it comes back to balance.
Of course, balance, Can you also take a step back and say, okay, I need to improve myself, help the people around me as well as myself, take care of them, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and, have some fun here and there. You're still 20, you're young, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Yeah.
You're young. So it's mainly don't go into that path. My definition is don't go there. It's like a forbidden forest. Don't go there.
Yeah.
Stick to the true path. But if you need to, if you must, delve into that, just have a little peek of it. Just a little peek and then come back, If
And
you need to, yeah.
Yeah, then you get the problem of addiction.
Yeah, of course.
Which maybe if you're addicted, is that true hedonism? Because I don't think so. Because being addicted is when you're doing something just to feel normal. This is like a tangent from what we were saying, but yeah.
I would say it is. I'm going to disagree with you there.
Okay, you're saying addiction is hedonist.
I would say, yeah.
Okay.
Bad addiction. So addiction could be like addiction to studying, but that's not hedonism.
Okay.
Someone could be like that.
Okay.
Is it? No, it's not.
But okay, so hedonism is doing something that is pleasurable but is
Bad for you.
bad for you.
Yes.
Okay.
To me, that's what it is.
All right, that makes
Again,
sense.
to me.
Yeah.
Emphasis on the me.
Yeah. I wonder what the actual definition of it
Yeah,
is.
to be honest, I don't know either.
Yeah.
But I think it is. Doing something that's repetitively bad for you, that's hedonism. Drinking every single day, because that's bad for your liver.
Or vaping even.
Or vaping, whatever it is, it's bad for you. It's literally, it damages your liver, your lungs. It's not good for you.
And
partying, yeah,
but you still do it.
Exactly.
So that's why I think that people who are addicted, they don't necessarily want to do it, but they just need it to
get back to normal.
Yeah, to feel normal.
I see.
They want to quit, but they can't.
Oh,
Right.
interesting.
That's my view of it.
Oh, I see where you're coming from.
And then some people are addicted, but they don't want to stop.
Addicted,
And
but they don't
I'd say
wanna
that's probably more hedonistic.
stop. Okay. So there's two types for you.
Probably.
There's
Yeah.
one that gets back to normal, and then there's one that just can't stop.
No, like one who's addicted
Yeah.
but doesn't want to be addicted, and one who's addicted and doesn't care about the consequences or
Okay.
anything.
But the second one is more hedonistic.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I agree.
And then the first one is just like unfortunate. It's I think it's addiction is a mental illness. So
Okay.
but yeah.
I agree with that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Expanding my horizons.
Yeah.
See that?
This is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I agree. Completely, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna add that to the Tahsin dictionary.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Hedonism. Okay. Another topic I wanted to talk about, kind of relating to hedonism in society, but not really, more generalized, is I love diving into the American world, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons why, but mainly because I don't know if you know, but a lot of Americans have this philosophy where they are number one and you can't tell them otherwise. I'm not going to sit here and say yes or no to that. I'm just going to listen. I'm an Australian. I'm just going to listen to see what they have to say.
And they have so much influence here.
They have so much
It kind
influence.
of feels like we're in an American state.
Yeah, of course.
Almost.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But then they have like the sense of superiority.
Yeah.
And with that, it has kind of made its way into the Australian society. But there is a big difference, right? I'm just adding some context here, okay? The American society, from what I've seen, from my American friends, I've never been there, but I've seen so many videos, so many read so many books that comes from there. It's very different, the working society. The working society in America is very, I need to get to the top. Right? It's a ladder that I need to climb.
Yeah.
Australia is very different. Australia is, if you get to the top, you're villainized. Have you seen that? Examples of that?
Yeah, well, I think it's a bit in the United States as well. Like billionaires have so much control, and they're like, "I hate rich people.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
taking advantage of us." It's kind of true, but some of them. But yeah, I think we should actually look up to them.
Yeah.
And I agree with what you're saying. What I think you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Just,
let me.
no,
all good. So there's been a new term coined in Australia.
Okay.
Tall poppy syndrome.
Oh yeah, you had that written.
I had that written.
Yeah.
And essentially, it's like a tall poppy. If you grow too tall to the point where you stand out, you get cut back down to society. I.e., I'm going to bring you back down to earth.
Yeah.
You're too high. Come back down.
Smack him in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
Get back to reality.
Humble yourself down.
Yeah.
And this is not in America. America, that's seen as, oh my God, this guy is amazing. I'm going to follow him. Not all the time, like what you said. They can be put down. But in Australia, from what I've seen with my own eyes, it's he, she, they. Nah, not having it. I'm going to pull them back down.
Is it jealousy or is it control or something else? Because I think when you have someone who succeeds a lot, or gets to a very high status,
Yeah,
they get some kind of control or influence.
of course.
And then, I don't know. Yeah, maybe there's people are jealous.
Yes.
Or people. Do you think people don't like seeing people succeed in Australia?
Yes, of course. And for there, I'm going to go to the extreme.
Okay.
I will say yes.
Okay, that's not my experience.
Okay.
I don't have an opinion on that.
Okay.
Haven't seen it.
I've seen it firsthand where anyone who's remotely successful, forget about social media, politics, whatever. Let's just say you've made something of yourself. You're Australian, born and bred. You have a nice house, nice suburb, whatever, nice car, blah, blah, blah. Materialistic, even non-materialistic standards. You have, good work-life balance, good health. But then there's always going to be those group of people that say, oh, he's just lucky. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, I agree.
Oh, he must have rich parents. Oh, all
Maybe
these
that's
excuses.
Making excuses for themselves.
Exactly.
Like the reason why they're not there
Yeah.
is because
Yeah.
they were dealt the wrong cards.
Yeah.
And they were dealt the right cards.
Those are the right cards.
But it's actually how you play the cards.
It's how you play the cards.
Yeah.
You sometimes get dealt wrong cards.
Yeah.
But it's what you can do. So that's the first.
Sometimes it's true. Sometimes you have, you do get. Yeah. No, I agree. You get played. Some people get played good cards, and some people get played bad cards. But that doesn't mean anything on their success.
It doesn't mean that you stop there.
Yeah. You play the cards correctly.
You have to play the cards correctly.
The person with the good cards might play it wrong and then end up at the bottom. And the person
And if the person with the good cards does play correctly, okay, good for them. Why worrying about their life?
Yeah.
You worry about your life. If they get the other good cards, if they have rich parents, blah 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 blah, cool, everything, cool. That's their life. That's not going to impact you. You focus on you.
I think it's an excuse.
Yeah, it's an excuse, right? And like you said, I think when we touched on earlier with this topic, jealousy. I can say this with almost 100% certainty. There is always a little grain of jealousy in everyone.
Yeah.
Of course.
I think jealousy can also be used in a good way.
Yeah, of course.
If it's just like a little bit.
Yeah,
it's like more of an admiration. But do you think jealousy is just a negative?
I think it's both.
Okay.
I think you can use that as a motivating factor as well. You see that guy rolling up with a nice car or whatever it is. Oh wow, amazing! What can I do? I want to get to that level.
Because what is jealousy?
Exactly.
Jealousy is it when you want something that someone else has, or or maybe you don't think they deserve it.
I think that's more
So-
envy.
Okay.
Jealousy is like, oh wow, he or she is doing so well for themselves. Whereas envy is, oh, they don't deserve it. Screw them.
But jealousy is negative.
Envy is more negative.
Okay.
Jealousy is leaning towards the negative.
Okay.
I would say like it's about 55-45
Okay.
negative.
And you think in Australia that there's more jealousy?
I do think so, yes.
Okay.
Because it's this, I've seen successful people in my community, and as well as this, very nice suburb. Well, but there's always that one person who says, "Oh, lucky. Oh, my cards were bad. Oh, good
Excuses.
parents. Oh, yeah, just God doesn't like me. Oh, whatever it is, There's always going to be that one person, and so in Australia, I genuinely think there's just more of that to drag you down.
Okay.
Yeah. The more you stand out, the more you're going to get dragged down, in my opinion.
Do you think it's a deliberate thing that someone's
Deliberate?
that someone set up so that people stay low, or I don't know, or is it just part of the culture and it's just happened? Because I see an incentive for people who have power to be like, if everybody says don't reach for the stars,
Yes.
then everybody will stay under my control.
Yeah.
But I think that's just like a random idea that
Yeah.
I have. I don't know anyone who has control or who would want that.
I wouldn't say control. I would just say that we need to all be on the same level. So then we're all equal,
Communism.
Communism. Maybe.
Yeah. But equality, I think.
Equality is a big thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So equality is good,
Of course.
but you want equality of opportunity, not
Yes.
equality of outcome.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because equality of opportunity, then people get to decide, okay, I've got the same guy as him. Sorry, I'll reword. I have the same things as the guy next door, right?
Yeah.
What can I do to better myself?
Yeah. And you can both. It depends how you play the cards. Yeah,
100%.
exactly. Yeah.
It's because equality of opportunity is important. So then everyone starts at the same start line. But then it comes, okay, how do we finish? Okay, we all started the same.
Mm-hmm.
How do you make, how do you finish? How do you make ends meet? How do you better yourself?
Yeah. I think there are some things that like at school where people from different backgrounds get help
Yes.
to get into a course or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's very important
Yes, of
for
course.
people who are like in lower socioeconomic. It's like they got dealt bad cards, but the government gives them a little boost, so then they have the same opportunity.
Yeah.
They can get to the same
Yeah.
places. But when it comes to race and gender, I remember there was in high school, girls in the engineering class or in physics would get a higher boost, like study score. Wait, what do we call it when there's like a boost in study score? I don't know. They would get like a higher increase in study score
Yeah.
than guys in physics.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And I was like, excuse me, that's not fair. because it makes sense because they're thinking, oh, there's not a lot of girls who are doing physics.
Yeah.
So if we help them a little bit, that makes sense. But
Yeah.
in high school, it's less of an importance because it has less of an impact.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to like universities and finishing degrees and things like that, I don't know. That was kind of a random
Yeah.
tangent, but
I mean, it goes back to what you were saying, right?
Yeah.
It's the same level. We all start the same.
yeah.
But then it's, okay, how are you going to, what can you do in your control? It's action. It's all action, right? So instead of saying this, sitting there and saying, oh, I got dealt the wrong cards. I'm screwed.
Yeah.
God hates me.
Stop complaining.
Stop complaining.
Just act.
Just act. Because you have no idea the dude sitting right next to you, the girl sitting right next to you, whoever, they probably started out the exact same way. But then you never see them complain. You never see them worrying about X, Y, Z. Because all they did was just, they stopped talking and they just did some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it takes. Just a bit of action, man.
Help you with that. Oh, okay.
All good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you wanted to talk about?
Well, you had religion written down.
Yeah.
And I think religion is good when you're talking about when you want a guidance or a structure to your life. 'Cause religion is perfect for that. Like for example, with hedonism, religion stops you from going down that path.
Yes, it does.
Because we know that it's not going to end well for you in the future, and it's not going to be good for other people. What do you have any input for like the use of religion in our life?
Well, I can only talk about this from my religious perspective, right? I can't talk about this from the maybe Christian, Jewish perspective, or Hindu perspective. I'm Muslim. My religion is Islam. Especially in the Abrahamic religions, do you know what they are? Yeah, the three Abrahamic religions. I'm one of them. Yeah. It's very, the Western world likes to say controlling. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do this. Oh, that you can't do that. Follow this very narrow path, and just maybe you might get into heaven, right?
Okay.
But as I've grown older, when I was younger, I used to say, that's not fair. All my friends get to do what they want to do, They'll get to go out and stay up until, go clubbing until 3 a.m., whatever. Do whatever they want to do. As I matured a little bit, 2 years later, 1 year later, I realized that that's good for you. Not the clubbing. I'm saying, as in like avoiding certain things is good for you.
Yeah.
It literally benefits you.
Guideline.
It's a guideline.
Not as a strict rule.
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
You're obviously free. You have the autonomy to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like God isn't pulling my strings from above and telling me, you can't do that, you can't do that. I'm going to literally control you.
Yeah, it comes to the argument of free will.
Yeah, you have the free will. But it's just knowing that if I do that, not only is it bad for me, but there could be a punishment in the future.
Yeah.
Something bad can happen to me. So it's that second, third thought that you have to think, okay, that looks really fun, but I know it's bad for me. I know I'm going to get punished for it. I'm going to go back on track.
Instant versus delayed.
100%. Yeah.
And find happiness by having delayed gratification and by being on the path.
Of course.
Yeah.
And it's not just like one or two religions.
Yeah.
I was talking about this with Chahil. We were on the train, and he was very interested in religion, and because he himself, I think, defines it as he was agnostic, and he really wanted to know my perspective on religion, my takes, and what I think it is. I told him there's no right answer. If you look at all religious scripture, all the majority of them, maybe excluding one or two, the obvious one.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Which one?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They all advocate the same thing. It's good for you, Don't do certain things. Stay in line, have discipline. That's important in religion, by the way. Do what you're supposed to do. Take care. Be a good person. Give back to the community. Invest in yourself, in your family, in your future, and you'll be rewarded. All religions advocate for this. Or at least most of those things. You can look at the scripture. It's the same thing.
It's for the betterment of yourself
for the betterment
and for everyone else.
Yeah, of course. It helps you. And so when you see people who say, "Oh, I don't know, I'm not religious," I'm not that type of guy to say, "Oh, you're screwed," whatever. You're obviously you're free to do whatever you want to do, but I'm always going to advocate for religion, not against it, because it just gives you such a good structure in life, to the point where if you just follow what's necessary, if you avoid what's bad for you by using some common sense, if you just avoid what's bad for you, you can't mess up. You literally can't screw up.
Yep.
It's impossible. Unless if some immense accident happened to you that changed the trajectory of your life forever, you really can't mess up if you follow the ethical and good principles of religion. You can't mess up. Yeah.
You will mess up. Everybody does.
Everyone's going to mess up.
Yeah.
But it's how you get back on track.
Yeah.
I'm talking in terms of like long term.
Yeah.
You can't really mess up.
Okay.
Cool. Something bad happens to you, you get back up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you've now earned a little bit of more extra strength, endurance. You've now went through some pain, and you're back on track.
And you learn from it.
100%.
You can't just go through it and
Yeah.
not learn from it.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah. I think religion is good and praying is good. It's just like, it's the same thing as journaling almost.
Yes.
Instead of talking to yourself. Because when you're journaling, you're kind of talking to a second person, yourself, but
Future self?
I don't know. You're like, it's just reflecting.
Yeah.
And then with prayer, you're talking to God
Yes.
or someone else, and he has his own, views that you get from scripture, and that helps you. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I like religion.
Yeah. It's such a diverse field.
Yeah.
It's so much to
Theology.
explore. Theology, yeah.
Yeah.
And the idea of, this is going to delve a little bit away from religious principles, but the idea of having someone who's going to overlook you and hold you accountable,
Yeah.
and take, and make sure that you're on the right path and just look after you. That's so reassuring.
It kind of merges the strategies that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Getting people to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
And just makes it very simple.
Of course.
Simple for you. And yeah, it's just it's very nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
And journaling.
It's a whole field.
Reading.
Yeah.
Accountability. Yeah.
Everything. Yeah.
And also community. I think
Yes.
what we've lost in the modern age is community.
Yes.
We don't go to church and see people every week. But with religion, you do go to church, see people, and you have this group of people that you see every week, and it's nice and it's good for your well-being.
That also ties into individualism and collectivism.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about that.
Well, it does if you think about it, right?
Okay.
Because what you've said, that in this day and age, it's too much about me, what I need to do, me, my personal problems, blah, blah, blah. And it shifts away from what can I do to benefit the community, the people around me, which is collectivism, right? When people say, oh, what's better, in terms of the religious perspective, individualism or collectivism, I always say that there's a middle ground.
Yeah.
It's such a typical...
You need to work on yourself to be able to help others.
100%, What good is a unhealthy doctor who's going to see patients every day?
Yeah.
They themselves are unhealthy.
What I find funny is
Yeah.
the obese or unhealthy and fat people in government who are in charge of like health and things like that.
It's a contradiction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I find that funny.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else?
Anything else?
All right, so collectivism is... What is collectivism? Actually?
Collectivism is... We were studying this. It was a caring, a sense of kind of camaraderie. In, it could be a big group of people, could be a small group of people, whatever. But it's the idea of, I'm going to care for not only myself, but for other people around me.
There's a bigger purpose.
There's a bigger purpose. Individualism is the exact opposite. I only care about me, my problems, my concerns, right? So there is no right answer. I hate saying that, right? There's no right answer. A balance, wow.
My answer is the right answer.
Yes, balance. But it's always, it comes back down to those two things, right?
Yeah.
Balance. Not two things, one thing. Balance, right? Take care of yourself. You can take care of other people. Don't lean too much into one way or the other, Because if you care too much about other people, you've now lost yourself. You can't take care of yourself now. because you care too much about what other people think. If you care too much about yourself, you're a little bit too selfish and you can't see the bigger purpose in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's been the whole theme of our discussion.
Yeah.
Like balance.
Yeah. Balance.
Like we need balance
You
in
need
every
balance.
aspect.
In every single... It's key.
And because also balance is very broad. Yeah. Anything else?
One more thing.
Okay.
Stoicism. Your favorite topic.
Yes. Well, yeah.
What is it? Now, I'm very... I have no kind of input in this field.
Okay.
So I want you to lead the discussion.
Well, I've read a couple books. Do you
Yes.
know Ryan Holiday?
Author of... I forgot.
The Daily Stoic.
The Daily Stoic. Oh, okay.
And he's also like a speaker on social media.
Yep.
He came to Australia,
Okay.
and I saw his he was promoting his show in Australia.
Yes.
I was like, damn, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
And I clicked on it, and it was booked out. Like I think it was like it came out like 14 hours ago,
What?
and I was like, what the? And then crazy, yeah. But yeah, Stoicism.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lot of different. There's a lot of different aspects to Stoicism. I'm not the most knowledgeable in Stoicism, but I know it's about not letting your emotions control your actions.
Okay.
You're allowed to be emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're allowed to have emotions, but do not let that dictate your actions. Be disciplined. Do what is right.
Yes.
And then the other aspect is focus on what you can control. Everything else that you cannot control, that is not up to you.
Yes.
It doesn't concern you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
If you studied as hard as possible, spent so much time, did all you could do, and then in the exam you still get like a 60%. Don't worry about it. You did as much as you can do.
Yeah.
The exam score is out of your control.
Yes.
What is in your control is how much work you can do.
Preparation.
Preparation. All that. Those two aspects.
Yeah.
Not letting emotions control you. Not worrying about things that are out of your control.
Yes.
And there are probably more aspects that I can't remember.
I wanted to ask you a question. So the whole idea of not letting emotions control you.
Yeah.
People are going to take that to the extreme and become robotic.
Yeah.
To the point where they don't have emotions. And they lose their humanity. Because that happens.
My parents thought exactly thought that's that what did that?
Oh, good.
My parents thought that's what it was. When I was starting to read up on Stoicism, they were like, "Well, Stoicism is just being unemotional, being a robot."
Okay.
But I agree. Yeah, you can lose some humanity, and
Comes back to that B word.
Balance.
Balance. Everything is balance. Wow.
Yeah.
And then you have the other extreme where it's too emotional. So talk about that.
Yeah. So I think there's a group of people in society that are very emotional.
Okay.
And these are the most dangerous people.
Can you be more specific?
They act on their emotions.
Okay.
And they don't care about discipline necessarily.
Okay.
They just act on their emotions.
Yeah.
For example, you get angry, you punch someone.
Okay.
That's murderers, or maybe not all murderers. Some murderers have mental issues, but some murderers will murder someone because they get angry.
Yes.
But what is the right thing to do when you're angry? Maybe resolve it with the person. I don't know.
Okay.
So all evil comes from doing the wrong thing because your emotions led you astray.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's a good point.
Maybe not all evil. Some evil is like wiring in your brain
Yes.
that just makes you enjoy.
Yeah. But what if someone is wired completely differently? Right, like so maybe they have some sort of defect, they have some sort of
That's what I'm saying.
yeah. So to the point where, like you said, a murderer,
Yeah.
their first instinct when they're unhappy is, I'm going to commit violence.
Yeah.
Right. What if that's all they know? Their brain just thinks there's some sort of gland, there's some sort of part in their brain that's severely malformed to the point where it's just violence. I'm pissed off. I'm gonna conduct and do violence on someone.
Yeah.
Be violent.
Well, maybe they just don't have the capability to be stoic. I actually don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, I think for people who have correct mental state, can learn to be stoic.
Would you say that's the vast majority of people? Correct mental state?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope. Yeah, and we can do so much good.
Yeah.
With stoicism.
Yeah, of course.
And because emotions can, like, when you get angry and you do something bad,
yeah,
most of the time you regret it after.
Mm-hmm.
Like, somebody says something to you and then you start like cussing them out or making fun of them.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's you're not controlling yourself.
Yeah,
it's just like you're pissed off. You just want to attack
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
And then you regret it maybe, and then it just leads to bad relationships. And
is stoicism and the whole idea of emotional regulation, does that come with maturity as you age?
Yeah.
18, 19, 20, 21 years old?
I guess.
Yeah. But
it's something that you practice.
Yeah.
You have to practice when something bad in your life happens.
Yeah.
You just need to practice not being unemotional.
Yeah.
But not changing what your routine, your habits, everything.
Dancing in the rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dancing in the rain because of your emotions.
Yep.
People who are staying indoors when there's a storm.
Yeah.
It's fear that's holding them back.
Of course.
Because they don't want to. They don't want to mess up in the storm. They don't want to slip and trip.
Mm-hmm.
And that holds most people back. That holds me back.
Yeah.
But stoicism is saying, don't let fear hold you back.
Don't let fear hold you back.
Don't let anger make you act.
Yeah.
Don't let emotions make you act.
Mm.
I think that your mind.
Your mind is everything.
Well, have control over your mind. And then you'll have real freedom. Another aspect, I think, of stoicism is to be grateful and to just be okay with whatever happens.
Of course.
Because as long as you've taken everything that's in your control in your hands and you have control over your mind, then everything will be right, because your perception of what happens is what makes you emotional.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you trip and hurt your knee, you can be like, damn it, I'm bleeding, it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can be sad about it. Or you can be like, I don't know. This is a bad example, but like, I'm going to patch it up.
Get back to it.
Get back to it.
Get back to it.
It's your perception of it that... I think there's a quote, perception causes suffering, not reality or what actually happened.
Okay.
You only suffer in your mind.
Interesting.
You don't suffer in real life. When you go running, you can be like, oh, this sucks. I hate running. My cardio sucks. I don't like this.
So what do? You have to tell yourself, no, this is good for me. This is good for me. This is good for me.
Or you can be like, oh, it's a good day today.
It's a good day. Yeah.
I like running.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get better.
Yeah.
My cardio is getting better.
There you go.
Yeah. So I like the idea of perception.
Yes.
Perception is how you control your mind.
100%.
Yeah. What do you think?
Amazing. No, that's so true. Perception. How you see what the bad event is. It could dictate your actions completely.
Yeah. And advertisements, this is off topic a little bit.
Yep.
But advertisements can try and control your perception of things. And your perception is influenced by social media and everything that you consume.
Yeah.
So you need to take control of it. I don't know. I'm not the person be
No,
talking about this.
That's good.
This is just my view. But yeah,
All true.
what do you think? What did you think Stoicism was?
I thought it was stoic. So I immediately related that to like be a Viking. I'm not even kidding. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Be as strong as possible. Don't show emotion. Kind of like what your parents thought at the start. Be as strong as possible. Put a front. Put a mask on. Put a front. So then people can't see what's going on in your life or the things you might be going through. Always put a smile on. Put a serious face. Whatever it is. A business face. Poker face. People like to call it a whole array of things. But put a front on so people don't judge. People don't think of you badly. And just do what's necessary. Be strong. Even if you don't like it, be as strong as possible.
Yeah.
Full stop.
I think Stoicism is similar to that.
Yeah.
But it's not hiding it. You don't hide it.
You don't hide it.
You do what you need to do.
Okay.
Vikings are stoic.
Yep.
They want to go to... They need to protect their land or something. Or they have to do it to go to Valhalla or something. I think that's super masculine. To be able to just do what you need to do, no matter how you feel. But it's not putting a front.
Not putting a front.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not pretending to be unemotional.
Yep.
But you can be you can be unfazed by things because it depends on how you perceive it. Most of the time, you're going to be emotional when something bad happens.
Of course.
But if you perceive it differently, it's not going to create emotion or bad emotions.
Not putting a front. It's interesting. It's very contradictory to what I was saying.
You're not trying to be fake.
Yeah.
You're trying to be
keeping it real, but
self.
moving on, essentially.
Yeah, and it's like what we've been saying this whole time. Do what is necessary.
Yep.
Do what you need to do. I keep saying the same thing, but different words.
No, all good. All good.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're trying to say. Don't pretend, just do.
Yeah.
If I had to oversimplify Stoicism in your words, that's what you were saying.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. There's many aspects of Stoicism.
Of course. Yeah.
And be beneficial to yourself and to society. And yeah. Be emotional if you have emotions.
Yeah.
Just don't let it make you do things.
Yeah. A question that you asked me was, who was my role models? I want to know your role models.
Oh.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be a stoic per se, but just anything.
I don't know if I have role models. My dad is my role model.
Your father, yes, very good.
Yeah, he's super stoic. And when I was reading up on Stoicism, I was trying to see who in my life or who do I know matches this Stoicism. And I was like, damn, my dad's so stoic. And I was so proud.
That's very good.
I am proud.
You should be, yeah.
And then my other role models, I don't know. I think it's kind of weird, but Elon Musk.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he's like, it's kind of like a sacrifice, like what he's doing.
Can you expand on that?
He's sacrificing. I guess he does have I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if he has a good work-life balance, but he's sacrificing his life for the betterment of the world.
Oh yeah, because he's so rich, he doesn't need to.
Yeah, Tesla.
Yeah. SpaceX, I think was one of them.
Yeah, SpaceX, Neuralink. Working in the government and helping America with that.
Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
He's like in the office now or something.
Yeah.
It's insane.
But
it's crazy.
But he's doing it because he wants to do good.
Yeah.
He's not doing it because he wants more money.
Yeah.
In the government,
he doesn't need more money. He's
or power, power. Yeah, I find that inspirational.
Yeah.
And he's doing it for something that he will not experience himself. He's doing it for the next generation.
Yep, agreed.
And I think that's
agreed.
Even something that's even more altruistic than that is doing something like that.
Yep.
But not having credit for it, because you're not. It's not satisfying your ego at all. Your ego is out of the equation, and you yourself will not benefit from it.
Yeah.
Only the next generation.
Interesting.
So my dad, Elon Musk.
If you had to pick one more.
One more.
Just one more.
I think maybe David Goggins.
Yeah,
a little
that's
bit,
a very good one.
But I don't really follow him too much. He's just like, he does what he needs to do.
Yeah. I think he's like the human embodiment of just
do it.
Just do it. Stoicism.
Nike. Just do it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have many role models. I don't use that as inspiration too much. I kind of do picture myself into the future.
That's very
how
interesting.
How I'll be like and what steps I need to take to.
Is that like, manifestation?
I guess. Yeah. I guess
okay.
it's manifesting. Just seeing myself in the future and be like, wow, I want to be like that.
Yep.
And then taking the steps. Yeah. Even though it might seem like I'll never achieve it, or I think I can, because we just learn and we accomplish things through learning.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, what are the takeaways so far? If we had to end this podcast.
Okay. So takeaways from the whole podcast.
Yes.
We need balance.
Balance.
Everything is, you can do everything.
Of course.
Just balance.
Yep.
Learn.
Balance, learn. Yep.
You need to learn constantly throughout life.
It never stops as well. Yeah, people think you're done right after high school, after uni. No, it's not the case. Maybe in terms of books, maybe in terms of, your I don't know, a test or an assignment. But you can always learn how to act from other people. Social cues. Role models. It never stops, As soon as I heard that from my friend, I was like, he was completely right. You don't stop learning. Even from this, I'm learning from you, and I hope you're learning from me.
I am. This is why I'm doing this.
Yeah, that's great. And then, you learn from people older than you, younger than you. You learn even going to the supermarket. You learn what's a bit more valuable, blah, blah, blah. Life is always learning. Yeah. And you should never put a cap on it.
Yeah.
Because the minute you put a cap on it,
read.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. The minute you put a cap on it.
Yeah, sorry. The minute you put a cap on it, it's self-deprecating. So don't. Read.
Do what you need to do.
Yep.
Do what is right.
Yeah.
What you think is right.
No more instant gratification.
Yeah. Instant gratification will only cause... it'll happen. I do it.
Yeah, everyone does it. But try your best to avoid it.
And all of what we're saying is obvious things.
Yeah.
That everybody knows.
Everyone knows.
But you just need to remind them and be like, no, maybe you actually need to take action.
Because at the end of the day, you're human. You're going to mess up. You're going to fail. You're going to, slip away.
Yeah.
But can you get back on the right track again? Slip away again, back on the right track. Slip away, back on the right track. It's this constant repetitive cycle. But as long as there is a cycle, you're heading into the right direction. Because the minute you slip away and you do it again and again and again and again, and you stop taking the action, you get out of that cycle, you're going to head down the quote unquote maybe wrong path. Yeah. Again, there's a whole argument about right or wrong. Yeah. But
what you think is right. Not always, but
yeah.
And then last thing, you really need to take action.
Yep.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Okay.
100%. Thank you for having me. Amazing.
If you have anyone else who would want to come,
yeah, for sure,
let me know.
This was a crazy, amazing experience. I loved it.
Yeah, you'll be back.
100%.
100%.
I love this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Easy. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Amazing, man.
Thank you very much for listening to this episode. Look out for new ones coming soon. The coming episodes are really interesting. Some great ways to support this podcast is by checking the social media accounts on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Another way is by clicking on the links in the description. There are some books there that would interest you if you liked this episode. And if you know someone or you'd like to come onto this podcast, email podcast.cktc@gmail.com. Thank you and have a good day.